Bible underneath my right hand. I made it out of tight jams. Guns all on my nightstand. My life should be on Vice Land. My fingertips to hold the marijuana aroma. High school, I went to school high, still got my diploma. He got riddled and left alone for some Skittles in Arizona. The same time a man dies by his own for a pair of Jordan. It's crazy how we living. We all misguided children. Niggas out here getting got, trying to figure out how to get it. We the ones that's not afraid to let the hammers off. The same ones that feed the homeless with the cameras off. The life I'm living kinda hard to get a handle on, but I'm blessed and God knows I can't be mad at all.
Gabby Duran is an incredible artist. She's a musician, outstanding performer. She has one of the most powerful voices that I've ever heard in my entire life. She pushes the culture forward in a really unapologetic way, and as an artist, she has an awesome business approach to take risks, to travel, to do whatever it takes, that she is making her art the main thing in her life. Hey, girl, good grief.
This is amazing.
Hey.
This is great. This is so good.
On Creative Radio, I'm here after 10 years with Miss Gabby Duran. I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for coming.
10 years, that's wild.
I know.
Are we dating ourselves?
Yeah. I feel,
oh my God.
Yeah, no, edit this out, Mark. But people don't know this, but we met at the Apple Store in Lincoln Road.
Yes, we
That
did.
was a long...
2008.
It feels like a many moons ago. And
1,000 moons ago.
you came up to the house, we made a video, and I instantly knew everyone knew you at the store. Is like, that girl can sing. Everybody, but and then like you came over to the crib, and then we filmed this video and stuff, and I was like, she is going places. That was what I thought. That was what everybody thought.
Thank you.
And then Mark's like, let's bring this Uncreative Radio thing back, and so I wanted to film in LA, and I was like, Gabby, we have to get Gabby.
Yes.
And
I'm so happy I was here for that.
Yeah, I was talking to you, and I was like, "Who is in LA?" And then I was like, "Let me look." And I was like, "I think Gabby's in Atlanta or in LA or New York." And then you were in it, and I was like, "Oh, this is it."
I'm here.
So you tell me, how'd you get here? What's the journey? Because I know you I know you as like awesome singer, songwriter, but people I think sometimes. But you were doing that in Miami, and then you took the big leap.
Yeah, I took that big leap inwards because you can't. I realized for myself, I couldn't make art for everyone until I went in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be like, oh, this will be quick. Oh, no.
Right.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
And it's been so rewarding to be here now because this is my third time living in LA.
Yeah.
And now I said the third time's a charm because it is. 'Cause now I'm really doing what I love here.
That's the interesting thing because most people are so fickle with their faith and hope. So like
That's never left me. And
Right.
no matter how low or, any kind of circumstance that ever came my way, I never lost sight of that.
Yeah. When you come to LA and it doesn't work out, most people, 98% never fucking coming back. Never. Then you come back again, and for whatever reason, you came back again.
I came back again, and then I left again.
Right.
And then I came back again.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What do you feel like it is? Because I totally, as an artist, we're doing so much stuff like corporately with the company. We're making projects for businesses. On the inside of it's like, me as an artist, I want to make films. I want to write words that make people feel something to change their perspective.
And
create stories about. And because I feel like for me, people resonate with music and they relate with visuals in a way for example, you get somebody that like watches like what was that dolphin documentary, Blackfish?
Yeah, the one out on SeaWorld.
Yeah. You watch something like that and everyone's like, "Oh, fuck SeaWorld, never going back there again." What? Because you saw a documentary.
Yeah.
Not because someone told you about it. You saw
someone's piece of art.
Someone
that
made a piece of art
inspired you to change
the way you thought about shit.
That's what art is.
Right. And then and you've been doing that in music, but you had to break down and kind of start figuring out who you have to be vulnerable and take your place to this dark, like to be able to figure out who you are.
There.
Right.
You got to go down there.
Isn't it funny when you like think about stuff that you made when you were younger and you're like, man, I didn't even know who I was.
Yeah, totally. Like a lot of things that I wrote when I was younger. I was like, what? What's happening?
Do you have some of that
Or
stuff
even
still?
things, yeah, totally.
Oh,
Of
that's
course
good.
I do.
Oh,
my God.
all hail iCloud.
Oh man, I have all that. I have all that stuff.
That's good. That's
and
good.
even now, like my voice has completely changed over the years,
Yeah.
and like now I've really honed in on what
Yeah,
on my voice.
What your voice
you
is,
know,
right.
'cause my voice is now in its own.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
How did you get there?
trial and error.
Yeah.
You know, I've sang so many different genres and done all kinds of things, and I've finally figured out like, all right, this is where I want to go.
How would you describe your music?
It's like new disco soul.
Okay, I'm
I'm
into that.
going there.
I'm into that.
I'm going into.
I love that description.
You know, it's a fusion of jazz and disco,
Yeah.
soul, house.
Yeah.
I want to keep it upbeat, but still pretty
Right.
deep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
What do you feel like you're trying to? What are you communicating? What are you trying to say? Like in some of these records.
it's honestly like letters to myself,
Hmm.
like things that I have learned for myself and things that I dialogue with myself
Right.
that I'm putting into song because I know other people go through these things
Right.
too. And they're like, instead of defense mechanisms, they're healing mechanisms.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
feel
I'm-
like when I'm writing, you get to a point where, well, starting is very difficult, but you get to a point where once you start, it takes its own life of its own, and it's almost like you
Mm-hmm. And
just,
it
you just
becomes,
it's its
this-
own thing,
its own organism
its
that
own-
influences you and
Absolutely,
teaches you
absolutely.
at the same time.
and you start to
it's-
learn from it.
Oh man, there's nothing that teaches you more than writing it out.
What do you think it is about music that connects people? You know what I mean? People that don't
It's-
know each other, people that
It's a universal language.
Yeah.
It's you can play a song with no words and it'll have a feeling that it'll invoke feeling in everyone,
right,
no matter what's being said. You know, it's
right,
it's a frequency, and we're all once we tune into a frequency that feels good with us. It doesn't matter what country, what
Right.
creed, what person it came
Right.
from. It inspires you.
I love it too. You see people that you don't really know, and you're talking with them and blah blah. I was like in Ohio or something, just working with this guy I didn't even know. And then I get into his car to go to the next location, and he's playing like Travis Scott or something. You're just like, really?
I didn't expect that.
And then you're just like, I get you more now, and you feel like you can
You connect.
say something.
Music
now.
is a bridge.
You can like, oh,
You know,
yeah.
we connect. We may be on two different
Right.
lands. We don't know each
Absolutely.
other, but that song,
Absolutely.
we fuck with the song.
But we fuck with that song.
Yeah,
Exactly. We fuck with
exactly.
that song.
I was driving about a few months ago. I want to say like in November in West Hollywood, and I had the Khruangbin album on. I don't know if you know who Khruangbin is.
I've heard. Yeah.
They're amazing. They're,
Right,
they're
right,
my
right.
favorite band right now. And I'm just into it, playing it. And this girl pulls up close to me to say, "What is this? This is so good." And I'm here spelling the name out of the band to her in the middle of
In the
traffic.
middle of-
We stopped traffic. Like I wasn't going, she wasn't going. I was like, KHRUANG. And I was like, the album's called this. And I just went on and she was like, "Thank you so much." I was like, "You're welcome. You're going to love it." She's
It's-
like, "I already do." And
the-
so we connected in
Right.
these
In traffic.
60 seconds.
Right.
Immediately. Like I know once if I ever see that girl, I'll immediately recognize her.
Isn't it funny when you're listening to a band or a record or something that you feel like is so obscure that no one knows about, and then someone else like plays that song, and it's almost like, yo, you don't. There's
feel
no way you know.
seen.
Yeah, like how do you know about this?
Like, you know me.
Yeah,
We're
exact-
soulmates. We're soulmates.
absolutely.
Yeah. It automatically just chains you, you know? Like it's
And then it takes one song like that to make people feel something, and they're connected with it, and then you as an artist for time.
exactly. And that's what the goal is. Create timeless records.
How do you feel? How do you create? Like, because that is like the biggest hurdle with people, I feel like, especially artists, is art is like some people are creating art and some people are so caught up in the fucking illusion of creating art. You look like an artist, you talk like an artist, but you don't fucking create anything.
I'm not gonna lie. There are moments where I can't create anything.
Yeah.
Where I'm like blocked. Not even can't create, but I feel like I'm in this like loop of what the fuck am I doing?
Right.
And in those moments, I'm just singing melody lines and not even thinking of
Right. Words.
songs or words
Right.
or whatever. And it's important to be gentle with yourself during those times because I feel like those are downloading periods.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, I'm not creating right now, but I'm absorbing information.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Do
and
you use
that's-
stuff that experiences and
Totally.
people and conversations?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And-
Even when I'm not in writing mode and I'm not necessarily sitting down writing a song, I will have a melody line or a song
Yeah.
lyric and I will write those down because I know later they're
Right.
valuable to me when I
Whatever.
do go down
and you
there.
go back
Like,
through
okay,
that.
wait, I got this. Oh wait, I have this melody. This will go well here. So it's not that I'm always actively
Right.
creating a song,
Right.
but there's always music being created that's
Right.
being funneled into different.
I think that's
different
so
channels.
interesting. I understand the writing portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how you guys take those and then put music to it,
music to
song,
it.
and then when you finally come out, you go into the studio, and then you the producers and everyone comes together. You guys create these things that end up on iTunes, and
Yeah,
it's magic.
it's really cool how that happens. Honestly, for me, I like freestyling over stuff
Yeah.
before even just sitting down like, oh, let's create a melody.
Yeah,
I'll just listen to it and just go off and connect with something that just tells me what's supposed to sound, what's supposed to be sung
Right.
there. And I'll know from a feeling, oh shit, that's it. That's the
it.
note.
Right.
That's the thing.
right.
And I've been going off that for a long time, but now I'm trying to become more what's the word?
Yeah, like finding your process.
Like
and
become more
structure.
militarized with it. Like,
Yeah.
all right, you're gonna sit
Yeah.
down at this time and you're gonna do this, and instead of it being so
yeah,
up in the air,
the
and
feelings. Right, right. I saw this great thing.
I've been trying to get rid of feelings
Yes,
to work
absolutely.
because I've had enough feelings. I have enough
Absolutely.
material,
Got
so
that.
now it's go
Now,
away feelings.
Find a structure to get it done.
Exactly.
I saw Jerry Seinfeld. He has this great bit called the X's. He made a grid on a sheet of paper, and he just made an X. And on each day, he made another X that he had to write. And the whole challenge was don't break the X. Like every day, fill that box out with the X. Even if you're writing something crappy, he was writing knock jokes or whatever it was. Just you put yourself in the habit
Of creating
doing it
daily.
every day.
That's a good-
Even
I
if
like that
even if
method.
it sucks, write something that sucks because one of those days, you're gonna write something that doesn't suck. And even if it doesn't connect now, like you said, it may connect later.
Later, totally. And that
then you
happens a
have-
lot for me. Like, you know how Steve Jobs talked about the breadcrumbs
Yeah,
going backwards?
absolutely.
The connecting the dots backwards.
Right.
That's so relevant in my
Right,
life because
right.
there are things that I worked on in the past that seemed irrelevant then.
Right.
That now it's like, oh shit.
That's
why
how
I did
that-
that.
right.
That's why I did that. Like, oh, this.
Absolutely.
It's so cool.
What do you think about the role that musicians play now? I mean, especially now, like everything is so.
You mean in society, like in the world?
Everything is so sensitive.
We're
Like,
the messengers.
yeah.
Musicians, I don't know if every musician, everybody who makes music is aware of this.
Right.
But we are the messengers. We
Right.
deliver messages to the masses
Right.
because a way for everyone to communicate, regardless of language, is sound.
Right.
That's
it.
the first thing.
Right.
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 Those things that we heard.
Right.
So I don't know if everybody's aware, but we have a great responsibility in delivering
You're challenged with
messages.
You're challenged with it.
And messages come in stories.
Right.
Like you remember how when we were kids, they would tell us a story to
Yeah.
teach us about morals.
Absolutely.
Same thing.
Same deal.
Same exact deal. Like I could be telling you the most fucked up story via song, but you're gonna read in between the lines and say, okay,
Right.
I get what's
Right,
what's
I
happening.
get what's happening here. I think that too, and celebrities and like musicians and artists are put on this pedestal now, which I think is really challenging. And you see what's happening with R. Kelly. You see Kanye West. You see all these things where you're like, you've created stuff that we've latched onto,
Yeah.
but now it's almost changed morally with some stuff that you've done.
Oh my gosh, it's something that I think we're all experiencing for the first time
Right.
because when we were growing up, there wasn't Twitter or Instagram or
Right.
anything informing us on the
On
pieces
anything.
of shit that we're making music.
Right.
We
Right.
never realized, like, oh
could
shit,
see-
I love R. Kelly. I love
Right.
That was then. We didn't know what was really going on.
Right.
I mean, it was insinuated with Ain't Nothing But a Number and all these things.
Right. But honestly, I'm
But
too
it-
young to really understand. I don't really understand what that's going on. Like, someone's filling me in about all the Aaliyah stuff and Angel Number. I'm like, what is this going
man.
on?
Oh,
but
man,
that stuff
it's
is
deep.
Yeah.
It's deep, bro.
Yeah. Once I was
It's
reading up on that, I was like,
really deep.
yikes.
No matter how many, memorable moments I've had with R. Kelly songs, which
Right.
I'll remember them for, listening to it now with the
Right.
knowledge that I have now is so uncomfortable.
Right.
Like even hearing it's just
Everything.
it's just uncomfortable. Like I know what you do. Did you watch that docuseries?
I didn't watch it.
or
I
what?
couldn't watch it.
I watched all of it.
Yeah. Beth watched it.
I binged it
You watch it, right, Mark?
I cannot listen
Yeah.
to this man.
Yeah.
I cannot, because when you see, all right, you can't discredit a woman's, feeling, how she feels, and that's evident. Like, you can't hide that when
Right.
someone has, been through trauma, and you can see it on their face, and
like
when it's multiple women.
And like the last thing women want to ever do is talk about that shit.
Oh my God, bro! The last thing,
Right.
People don't understand that for a woman to even say something
Is
to
a-
begin
is
with,
a
it took a long time to get there.
You're right.
Because we already know we're going to be confronted with all this,
Right.
backlash.
right,
Which is
absolutely.
ridiculous. Like,
Well-
I'm telling you about me getting hurt, and you want to.
Like, you're full of shit.
It's obscene. Like, honestly,
That's the culture now.
it is.
And I think, like, when you look at, like, Jussie Smollett, like, that kind of stuff, like,
And I don't want to talk about that.
that stuff, like, hurt. You know what I mean? When people start saying, it's like, and I felt bad. I didn't like that happened. Because I felt like,
Okay. So I used to sing backgrounds for Jussie. My
Oh,
first
boy.
time living in LA.
wow.
So we've always been friends.
Wow.
And when that happened, I reached out to see, are you
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Or, what's up?
Oh, my
And I
gosh.
still haven't heard from him.
Nothing.
Crickets. And
Man.
and while obviously there's all this information in the media, like, I still want to talk to my friend.
To your friend.
And see what
To
he
your
has to
friend.
say, because I don't want to.
It's a lot of noise.
It's so much noise and there's so much going on. Like, I don't even know what's real or what's true
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. I just want to know what the real was. And if you're safe, that was really my first
Are you
concern.
good?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
And not hearing from him, I'm not gonna lie. It was just like
And but hearing
What's
from
going
everybody,
on?
but hearing from fucking Twitter and everybody else.
everyone. And people, I started getting, I remember I posted a picture of him, like, just in solidarity, like, hey, I love you. Like, I don't know what's going on. Right when the first thing happened.
Right.
And I started getting so much backlash in my comments. I had to delete the picture.
That's crazy.
It became like a war zone in my comments. And I was like,
I said that to Mark earlier.
This is crazy.
It's kind of like if you did something questionable, and then Gabby says, "Well, I know this dude. He's my friend. I love you." It's like, yo, fuck you, Gabby.
Yo,
You know what I mean? Like, God,
honestly,
like,
I was attacked for my gullibility
Right.
so much. Like,
Right.
oh, you believe this shit?
Look,
and I'm like,
but you,
he's my friend.
yeah,
I
but-
want to find out what's
but-
going on before I say anything, before I do anything.
But
before
that mentality, I want to find out. Can we get to the facts? Let me know if my friend is okay. That's not acceptable anymore.
Oh my
You
God,
have
because
to-
we
it's-
live in the age of receipts. This is
Yeah.
the information age. There's
Yeah.
receipts for everything.
That's what's so
For everything.
and that's what I feel bad about my daughter growing up, because you're just like, you're growing. We getting bullied in school and shit. You go home and that shit stops. You just deal with a whole.
Yeah, you get bullied now, and it's
It's
just like
24. It's on Instagram.
It's a whole ordeal.
It's on your comments. It's in your DMs.
Oh man,
It's in your stories and all this shit.
honestly,
scary.
as scary as it is, it's scary right now because I feel like we're still in the beginning of it. We're still
Right.
learning how to process transparency with everything and
Right.
everyone.
Right.
As humans,
and do we want it?
I don't think we have a choice anymore.
Right.
I think
It's-
that's
it's here.
I think that's gone.
It's here.
It's done. The veil is gone.
Right.
It's about truth now.
Right.
So now whatever is not truth and is not in alignment with what's good for
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
is being tossed to the forefront now.
Absolutely. I'm
So-
glad you said that too, because you said it's all about truth now. And I like that because I keep hearing this thing that people say, I was thinking, I don't know who was watching Steve Harvey or something. He was like, I'm so glad I could come on and tell you my truth. And I was like, there's no truth. There's no your truth.
You're not giving us your truth.
But there's truth. Like my truth could be anything. Like Josh Miller's a superhero. That's my, you know what I mean? I can
Yeah.
fly. That's my truth. But truth is different. And so I think that's really interesting when you see these artists, and it's being documented. Everything's being documented, and everything's on Twitter, and everything you said it. People are. It's.
and then people are going on live and they're posting everything
It's
every
hard.
day,
It's
and they're
hard.
just it's
I saw that thing. I saw that about Cardi B. They came after her, and it's so interesting.
that people coming up to her.
Yeah,
and-
well, she had said she used to steal money from people or something.
Oh,
she said it Instagram Live alone too.
She said
What'd
that
say?
she used to drug them and then just take their money and not
Right.
have to fuck them.
Right.
I mean, granted, that was
For-
years ago.
It was a long time ago. But
It was
that
a while ago.
But then that was like
It brought up the whole point of ideals and morals. Like,
Right.
oh, Cardi, you would do this? You would drug a man for what? And back then, let's keep it a buck. Like that was normal. Like
Yeah,
women
yeah.
were getting drugged for sex, men were
Cosby.
getting played by,
Right.
you know, it was
Whoever.
like that was happening, but it was being talked about. But now that it's being talked about, people want to bring up old shit,
but, like,
and
not the
now
sim-
like hold trial for old shit.
But not the reality of where it used to be.
Yeah.
Similar to like Bill Cosby to a certain extent. I mean, what's the difference between him drugging women and her drugging men?
Yeah, I think like Cosby. When I think about Cosby,
The difference is that countless men have not come out to say that Cardi B has damaged
Right.
their life.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
Like I get what you're saying, and totally like, yeah. How come all there's double
Yeah.
stand?
But there are double standards.
There are
sometimes.
double standards, and every situation's different. Like Cardi B coming out and saying that on a video, she might have just done that once
Yeah,
and
sure.
just been talking about it
Sure.
for the gram. You know what
Sure,
I'm saying?
sure.
But with Bill Cosby, there was a pattern of this shit happening.
right,
You know,
right.
and it was.
It's tough too when I think about Cardi and I think about anybody in that situation because you're not in that situation.
Yeah.
Like if you're
That's how I feel about Jussie. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't talk about it, but I know you know what truth is by the way it makes you feel.
Yeah.
You immediately.
Yeah.
You know when someone's lying to you or telling you
Right.
the truth by okay, what's my gut
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Because you're working on that your whole life. For me, I just know like if it comes down to like me and my kids, there's probably not much I wouldn't do if it meant their survival.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
You'll do anything to
but
make sure
what-
they're cared for. and
But
safe.
if you're in that mindset of desperation, that's your mindset. And then it's hard to get judged when you're not, when you're later. So I enjoy her music. I enjoy what she's putting out. And
I love her.
And I think her story
it's crazy.
is pretty powerful. So I
It's-
think that's like, and I think that's a musician who's kind of took in something that was really broken and then really pieced
She
it.
turned lead to gold.
Look
She's
at
an
this.
alchemist.
That's crazy.
Truly.
Look at her.
She turned something that could have been perceived as the worst situation and the worst.
Yeah.
And look at her now.
What
And
do you think it is? What do you think about women in the industry? Like how you're a woman, you're making art in LA, you have to deal with so much shit that
Thankfully, I have a really good bubble out here.
Mm.
I'm very thankful for the tribe that I've
Right.
amassed here. So I haven't been in questionable situations.
good.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
This go round.
I think
being
it's tough. I think it's tough when people. I like when I see some of the stuff that's like been on the news. It's hard because I'm just like, who are these people? Like I don't like. I've never like shit that I hear like like everything that I've heard about R. Kelly, things I heard about Michael Jackson, all that stuff. Is just like I've never knew, and it's kind of sad because you never thought that human beings could stoop to a level to do something to innocent children or whatever it is, and then take something so beautiful like their art, like the talent they were given, and just fuck that up.
That's a hard truth I had to swallow. I learned that in the last few years of my life. Like just because they make great art doesn't mean they're a great person.
Right.
I've met people personally who are insanely talented, but
Right.
they're
Just
giant pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like
right.
we're starting to learn. Not starting to learn, but we're starting to align more with how people really are and their art. Before it was like, here's art, here's the person. They
And
could
you-
be completely
separate. I don't
completely
know.
removed.
All I know is
because there's no press, there's
Right.
no Twitter, there's no nothing to
Right.
inform. There's
Yeah.
there's
That's
nothing.
it.
But now
It
it has to be aligned. Like,
Right.
are you the person that you're talking about?
you're talking about.
Are you the? Does it make sense?
Right.
Is it in alignment?
Right.
If it's not, we don't want it.
Right.
And that's what I mean by truth. Now people only want truth.
Right.
Like
If it's authentic, like I'll believe that song. If
it's true.
If it's true in you.
yeah. If it's not true, what?
That's interesting. Do you
Notice
feel,
how people that have fallen off is because what they were rapping or singing about was not authentic to themselves.
Right.
So it evaporated. It didn't hold any weight.
what do you think about crossing and I think that's so interesting too because you're crossing genres now with art and music. And it's like people and I feel like you, a woman, you're super strong, but you're using this art in such an interesting way, crossing different genres, writing for other people, and then using that to kind of spread almost, I don't want to say positivity, but like, there are some artists that are looking at doing it in a different way and
I
trying to
definitely-
spread that love in a new way.
I definitely see art as a healer
Right.
for all people.
For all things.
Yeah, for everyone. Like, think about a broken neighborhood. You throw up some murals and you automatically enrich
yeah,
that space
right.
because you brought art to
Yeah,
it.
and you
You know, so-
right. Who do you think broke that barrier for women in like this is in the hip hop game? Like, who do you think broke some of these barriers down for women to really like create and
to do what they want.
yeah, because it is really a small handful dating back to on the rap game, Lil Kim and
I was gonna say, yeah, like if we're gonna start, hip hop era, it'd definitely be Lil Kim,
I like
Foxy.
yeah,
Lauryn Hill.
Lauren. I like what Lauren.
I love that album is so good.
Which one?
The only album that exists
the
of Lauryn
Zion?
Hill, Miseducation
Yeah,
of
Miseducation,
Lauryn Hill.
yeah, the
You're thinking
one.
of a song.
Yeah, I'm just
The
like-
only, that song
like,
is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And that album was, for me, was so important as a
Mm-hmm.
kid because I listened to it
Yeah.
till I was blue in the face. But let's fast forward now. I went to a Lauryn Hill show a few years ago and I walked out crying because I was
Yikes.
upset.
Yikes.
And this is one of my favorite artists of all time. I've looked up to her my whole life.
Yeah.
And I went to the show and it was heartbreaking. I walked out mid-show crying,
Damn.
like, okay, I can't believe this.
Yikes.
Like,
What was it? What was it about it?
it was actually down here in downtown. She wasn't singing her songs. She was just like going off in another. None of the songs sounded like the original. She
Right.
made arrangements, which was fine. That's okay.
Do your thing.
But I feel like she wasn't. Those songs that she had written, she wasn't connecting with them. She was just like,
Getting that,
like just doing it, and it was just like, oh man, don't do this.
And that's rough.
It's terrible.
That's rough to be
That's-
sitting there.
Especially as a student. Like, it's a student watching their teacher just fail
Just fuck it,
miserably.
you
Like, you
just-
taught me.
Right.
How
but
are you
you're
there?
supposed to. Right.
That's how I felt watching Mariah Carey recently.
Oh my God.
I was legitimately sobbing
Yeah.
because Mariah Carey and Sade
Yeah.
they taught me how to sing.
yeah.
I was listening to Mariah before I could,
Right.
anything. And so
And she was the voice.
she the voice,
The voice.
the quintessential
Whitney.
perfect voice, and I studied her so much vocally as a kid that watching her, I loved watching her get honored at, I think it was like the Billboard
Right.
the icon that
Yeah.
I love that they honored her because she has done incredible work in music,
Right.
But when she performed, that's when I broke down crying. I'm like, oh my girl,
Yeah.
girl, no, you have vocal
What
nodes.
do you think that is?
You know what vocal nodes are?
No.
They're like polyps, like
Yeah.
cysts on your vocal cords from singing improperly.
Right.
That happens over time and it changes your
It
voice.
changes your voice.
And you can no longer sing how you used to. And so
Yikes.
I'm watching her sing all these classic songs
And
that she
it's-
used to blow to. And
it's
she
not.
sounds like, I hate saying this, she sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Even saying it sounds icky because she's a god to me vocally.
Right,
And
right.
now it's like, baby, your vocal cords need some rest. Like, let other people sing your songs.
Right,
Like, I
do
would have
some-
loved to see that medley with other artists singing Mariah songs
Coming
and her
together.
being
Like
her being
her
honored,
honored and elevated
instead
in
of
the way
her performing the songs.
Right.
You know what I
if
mean?
it wasn't going to be what because you write a song like that, you have a voice like that, and it latches on in people's memory forever.
Forever.
And then
Emotions, she did Emotions,
Right.
but it was not Emotions.
then it's just don't do it.
It was
Just don't do it.
exactly, that's my whole point.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever get to a point, God please, no, where I can't sing anymore,
Right.
I'm gonna respectfully just hang it up because I
Right.
don't ever want to ruin the sound that people have of
Yeah.
me in their minds with this
Yeah.
new voice.
I saw Dylan do that. He was doing something and he was playing on the Grammys or something, but he was playing guitar. And Mumford and Sons came up
Yeah.
and started singing with him and stuff like that. But they were just like, I can't believe I'm playing with Bob Dylan. But they were doing the singing. And I've seen that before. So I agree.
They're
with
doing
that.
the singing because Bob Dylan knows
come
he
on.
can't deliver the same way anymore, and
At all.
that's having respect for your art.
and making it stay.
Yeah,
Time
like
because
if
you look at Mariah Carey stuff and everyone thinks like I see Mariah Carey now. You think about those last things she's on TV and it's just like
dude, like I listen to those '90s Mariah albums all the time,
Right.
still. So even hearing anything new of hers or her performances, I try to just be like,
no.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Because, disassociate. Because I hold her to such a high esteem. Like, she's at one point in life, she was a vocal master.
Yeah.
She did things that no one could ever do, And so when you reach that height and you're known for that, at least this is my opinion, you want to protect that.
Absolutely.
You want to keep that that twinkle around it.
Yeah, keep that magic going.
If I can't sing like that anymore, I'm like, oh, someone else sing my song.
Yeah, I don't feel like
Sing.
it tonight.
I don't feel like it. You sing for me. Perform for me.
Perform for me.
And it's just, it's better because
Yeah.
now you're involving others in your legacy. Like, wow, I sang for that Mariah tribute.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like
Right.
that would have been a more beautiful story than the tragedy that was on stage.
Oh my God.
It broke my heart.
It did.
Mariah, I love you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I love you to death.
What
but-
do you feel like? What do you feel like now? What you would say to artists that are trying to create and they're kind of stuck? You know, people get in that mode where everyone feels like they have a talent, or at least artists. Some people feel like they really have a talent. Like, I'm not talking about the posers or people that are just like, they're like, you look, man, like the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
on American Idol, like, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But like to those last 20 that are okay, you guys are good.
Yeah.
But they're falling in that rut to like, I don't know, you're doubting yourself. You know what it's like to doubt yourself, and you're like, I don't even know if I should be doing this anymore. Like, how do you push through that you found to really start to get back in your bag? For you.
Realizing that music is the only thing that makes me happy, really. Like when you go back, okay, what makes me happy? Where does my joy come from? Where does my
Right.
pure joy come from? And where am I at my happiest?
Right.
If it's in music, like no matter what happens, I'm here.
You're there.
I'm gonna be here, no matter what, because that's what brings joy to me. There's nothing else for me that invokes the same feeling of me feeling like a sunburst,
Right.
like singing or making music.
Right.
So if anybody that sings or raps or makes whatever, if they don't get that feeling from it, like, wow, I'm gonna die if I can't do this, don't do it.
Man.
Just don't do it.
And since you're in LA, I have to ask you about this because you were hearing it happen, and I love just to get your thoughts on Nipsey.
Oh,
and
man.
just being in LA
That day
during
was,
that time.
I'll
And-
never forget that day.
And
It was
I feel
a
like
beautiful Sunday, March 31st. I was with my greatest friends. We were in a park having a picnic together, all of us. And we all got the news at the same time. And it literally got cloudy.
Yeah.
And everyone was just
Yeah.
either crying or trying not to cry in front of people
Sure.
or just like,
What do you feel like that? What do you feel like that like says about the
That-
community and hip hop and
that
doing good?
his
and,
death definitely brought us closer together as a unit. You know, as people of color,
Right.
it honestly like rallied a lot of people together.
And
like, hey, this man was a Jesus incarnate, and
Right.
we didn't appreciate him, and now he's
Right.
gone. What are we gonna do with
What are
it?
you gonna do?
I stopped eating meat. Okay, so I've been going back and forth between veganism and like I'm
Right.
flexitarian, you know. But when he died, I was like, damn, I'm not eating meat anymore.
Yeah.
I stopped, and so
You felt like you could be a better version. You saw that. You
I
felt like
immediately
I could be a better version.
it was an immediate call to action. It was
Right.
like, how are you going to be your best self?
Right.
How are you going to impact your community? How are you going to help your community? How are you going to leave behind something greater than yourself?
Right.
Something bigger than yourself.
And he obviously did, and he's an artist, and he wrote so many. I mean, me and Mark were listening to Double Up on the car the other day, and he left so many. He
he
used
left
his
so
art,
many gems.
but that was what you're saying. He's one of those people that when the music and everything really aligned, when the
Exactly.
truth really aligned for him,
he
Nipsey,
lived his
he
truth.
lived it.
His truth that he rapped about was his truth when he woke up in the morning.
Right.
And it was all aligned. And it just, that's another reason he struck such a chord in people, is because he was a role model.
Right.
He's like, hey, I'm living my greatest self. I'm being my highest self and living my highest purpose while also impacting and uplifting community. Can you do this?
Can you do it? Right.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
If I can do it, if I'm some kid from Slauson,
Right.
I can do it. You can do it.
Right.
And that's what really shook all of us on the day
Man.
he died.
But but
That
it's
was-
such a tough day, but also super inspirational to see what he had and how so many people.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, everyone.
That funeral. Did you watch that funeral?
Oh, the Staples Center.
I didn't go because, I'm a
everyone-
wreck. I
Right,
stayed
but
home.
Everybody
Like, I'm
said
not-
it was amazing.
It was so beautiful, and I watched the whole 26-mile
Wow.
caravan.
Wow,
So 26 miles is a
Yeah,
marathon,
right.
and they did a 26-mile run
Yeah.
around the city.
that's crazy.
I was crying the entire time.
Right.
Big crybaby, obviously. I was crying the entire time, but at the end of that, I'm like, okay, your
Yeah.
death won't be in vain.
Right.
You've inspired so
Inspired
many
people.
of us to do better in so many aspects, in every aspect. Eat better,
Right.
primarily.
Yeah. Everything.
Eat better. Treat your people around you better. Treat yourself better. create art that's for everyone.
Right. Right.
It's going to make a difference in the best way.
Right. And challenge those perspectives and change them.
Oh man, that death was very difficult.
Man.
I think that was the Nipsey's death to us must have been like what MLK felt like back then.
Right.
It's
the closest thing that
I can now understand what they went through
Right.
because the same thing happened with us.
Right.
You
And
know,
just
like, can you imagine what Nipsey would have done?
Yeah.
He
right?
literally just got started.
Right.
He just dropped his first album.
Right. He was on a path.
It was his first
He was
thing.
on a big path.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now I feel like he dropped a bomb on everyone when he left. Like, hey, okay, I'm leaving, but here,
But yeah, get it
do
get
this.
It, get it
Get
right.
it together.
Get it right.
Unify. Did you see all those gangs unifying?
Yeah. That was big.
Shook me.
That was big.
That was huge.
That was big.
That was huge. I don't know if you remember the Absol song.
Which one?
If all the gangs in the world
Yeah,
unified,
yeah.
we stand a chance against the military.
and that was happening.
It's
It
happening.
was happening.
Everyone is unifying. Like, okay, what lines? We're no different. We're on the same team.
And using art to do that, man. Art being that vessel. Man,
Art was what created this.
man. Thank you for coming here.
I thank you for having me. This
so-
is so cool.
Tell people how to connect with you on Instagram. Tell everybody. Where
I can be found on the interwebs,
get on there.
Twitter, Instagram, GBDRN. It's Gabby Duran with no vowels.
You're big on
5
Twitter.
letters.
You're big on Twitter.
I'm big on Twitter. I love Twitter.
I like that.
I'm a big Twitter fan.
Good.
It's just Twitter is where we have all congregated, all humans of the earth, to not only show us like different perspectives, but show where we're the same.
Exactly.
Hence memes and like those tweets that go viral because
Absolutely.
damn, that's so true. And
Exactly. It's a beautiful place at times.
I've been on Twitter for 10 years. I got on Twitter right after getting being at the Apple Store.
Oh, wow.
So I just did my 10-year anniversary. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh my God, I've been on Twitter for 10 years.
I've been on Twitter for a long time.
Am I gonna be 80 on Twitter? Like,
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for coming on the
thank
show.
you for having me. I love you guys. I've been a big fan for a long time,
Girl.
and I'm so proud of what you've done.
Hey.
You're a boss now.
We're making moves. Don't tell anybody.
You're a boss. He's a boss.
What do you say? Rapid fire with Gabby?
Rapid fire with Gabby.
All right,
What's rapid fire?
Rapid fire is I'm going to ask you a few questions. You got 5 seconds to answer.
Oh, rapid fire. Rapid fire. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, hold on. Let me find this thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so since you're healthy now, favorite junk food?
This is hard.
Yes. 7-Eleven. Think about it.
Oh, if I'm 7-Eleven, what am I getting?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm getting some Cheez-Its
You-
and some Ferrero Rochers.
Good. That's a good one. Okay. Jay-Z or Drake?
Ooh, I have to say Jay-Z.
Good. Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Beyonce, that's not a question.
not-
Take it
I
off.
know, I'm
Remove
sorry.
it. Remove it. Delete. You shouldn't have those two names together. How dare her?
That is true.
Taylor theft.
I love that because everyone saw that marching band thing. I was like,
Taylor theft.
Yo.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yo, this is Gabby Durant. Everyone get out here, check with her, and make sure you
GBDRN.
stay up to date. She literally has the best voice that I know, and she will be making waves.
Thank you.
Very, very soon.
Very soon. Lots of cool stuff coming.
Thank you,
for having
girl.
me.
Love to you.
Love you.